Hello and welcome. Thank you and congratulations for making the decision to download the checklist that will help you avoid costly mistakes when it comes to college planning. Your checklist will arrive in your inbox shortly. I just wanted to take a second to introduce myself. My name is Ashley Jordan, and I help families and students save up to 50% on costs, and I help them to graduate on time without the massive student loan debt or uncertainty. I am an educator of nearly a decade teaching science at both the high school and middle school levels. And I started my business, My Education Connections, to help families gain clarity on the college planning process. I wanted to help them ease frustrations and concerns, as well as help assure that their students graduate on time without the massive debt or regret. And I'm so glad that you opted into this because I wanted to take the next 5 minutes or so to discuss some important strategies and tips on how to effectively use your checklist to simplify the college planning process. So, what you will see on the second page of your download is some interesting statistics as well as common mistakes that parents make that is really important for you to be able to avoid. One of the things that's very interesting is number one. And this was kind of shocking to me when I first entered the field. I saw that statistics showed 80% of college freshmen actually enter undeclared. This oftentimes will lead to statistic number two, which is over 57%. So nearly 60% of students take more than 4 years to graduate. On average, it is now taking students 6 years. These 6 years lead to some extremely high costs, leading us to number four. $300,000 may seem like a kind of outlandish number when it comes to the opportunity cost of those extra 2 years. But when you factor in not only the tuition that those extra 2 years entail, but also the fees, the textbooks, potentially room and board, and lost wages, lost benefits, and lost contribution to retirement, it really is an appropriate estimate of how much the students are losing. And another thing that's really important to remember, which brings us back to number three, is a 2014 Gallup poll, which actually indicated that 84% of employers view knowledge as the most important factor when hiring a candidate versus only 9% who view where the student earned their degree as most important. So this is really something that we need to look at when it comes to cost. As you will see for numbers 5, 6, and 7, there's some pretty staggering statistics on student loans. We have over $1.4 trillion in total student loan debt in the United States alone. We also have an average monthly repayment of $350, and this is over a decade. The average debt of 2016's graduating class was over $37,000, and tuition is constantly increasing, sometimes by double digits, 10 to 12%. And so really understanding the difference between a brand name, state university, and our options is very important. So being a teacher like myself, I knew that going into teaching, I was never going to really make a lot of money. Teaching really isn't a profession in which you're going to earn great sums, but you go into it for different reasons. I really love teaching, and I understood that I wasn't going to make a lot, but I also understood that it was important to analyze that when I chose my college. Nowhere on a job description for teaching, at least ones I've encountered, does it say if you go to such and such university that you will make $10, $20, $30,000 more. They say you need a degree from an accredited university. This is really important to understand that it's not necessarily about the brand name, the prestigious name, it's about what that university will provide for you. And it's really about analyzing the return on your investment because that is ultimately what college is. It's not only investment of our time, but it's also an investment of our money. And so with any investment, you want to do your research. You want to have a well thought out plan and you want to have an estimate of what you're going to get in the end. So this leads us to how to actually use your checklist. Anytime you're preparing for college, it's going to require time, obviously. It's going to require research, money, patience, and definitely some follow through. And so I've put together a checklist to really help you to start to go through, discuss with your child, but also to start develop a plan on your own. And planning ahead by discussing college goals as early as elementary is actually quite important. You can start determining student interests. Start putting them in electives or having them take electives or after school activities to really determine what their interests and aptitudes are. Also, begin a college savings account for your student, whatever that may mean. Maybe it's a state sponsored plan, maybe it's a private account that you have. Really talk to a financial advisor, come up with some options because starting a savings account as soon as possible can really help. Another thing that I feel is often overlooked and students will actually end up preparing for their sophomore junior year is the SAT, which can put a lot of undue stress. Unfortunately, these high stake tests are not only used in determining admissions, but they're also used in the awarding of scholarships. So, starting to prepare early, freshman year, is really not too soon. And preparing little by little will really help to reduce the stress and overwhelm that oftentimes juniors feel. You have to understand they're taking some of the most rigorous coursework of their high school career, in addition to after school commitments, so they can look good for the admissions officers. Perhaps they have a job, um, perhaps they have other after school commitments. And so it really is important to help them prepare little by little. So, whatever that means in terms of your budget, maybe it's taking an online course, maybe it's a self guided course, maybe it's a book, maybe it's tutoring. But whatever it is, it's really important to start preparing as soon as possible because higher scores are going to mean more scholarships. Also, it's very important to again discuss and explore student interests, put them in electives, after school activities, and really help to determine a career that the student will not only enjoy but that will also succeed at. And so, one way that you can do this is to actually take an assessment, which will help provide objective data. And this helps to remove all the guesswork. Another crucial component of the checklist is to really do a cost benefit analysis on the college versus the career. So, this really goes back to the teaching example. And you can say this with some other careers like nursing. You need to look at, will the college and its cost benefit me in the long run based on my career choice? Now, this is very important as well. There are certain careers, example, lawyer, doctor, business, where going to a very prestigious university may be an important investment because you're building a network, you're meeting people, and this could help you in your career. So it really is so important that you have a personalized plan and it benefits the student and what they want to do. So there's not a one size fits all. So it's really important to look at the name of the university and determine, is this going to be a benefit in the long run or will it be an undue burden? And it's very important, like we talked about with some of those staggering statistics when it comes to loans, try to avoid them whenever possible. Unfortunately, credit loans, it's a part of our daily life, but avoiding it whenever possible can be beneficial. So once your child is accepted to college, your work isn't done. Their work's just beginning. They need to succeed and do well at their university or college of choice, and you need to really make sure that they have a clear plan for graduation. As we talked about, those extra 2 years that most students are spending can have huge implications and costs for their future. So it's very important to make sure that they finish in 4 years, which will help reduce debt as well as costs. And a great way to get a personalized plan, objective data, and to really help make sure that they have a clear plan for graduation is to work with a college planning professional. So one of the things that I want to talk about is that this checklist is really just one step in a 3-step process. And so we can actually help guide your student through the college planning process. We can help you through the college planning process as well and really help to save you both up to 50% on college costs, as well as help you to graduate on time without that student loan debt or regret. We actually have a signature program, the College Planning Roadmap, or CPR for short. And so what we actually do is provide a personalized consultation, which helps to find the right resources for you and to analyze the options for the student. The student will take an interest survey online, and then they will also take an objective online assessment, which helps to provide data to really help take the guesswork out of making decisions. You will also get professionally curated results by your own personal college coach, who is also there to help discuss ROI and questions that you may have along the way. With your coach, you develop a plan of action, and ultimately, our goal from getting to point A to B is really implementation of this plan of action and graduation on time so that you're not wasting time or money. And so that is why I would like to invite you to jump on a 20-minute, no cost discovery call to gain some clarity on the college planning process. The goal of the call is to give you one actionable tip to de stress the college planning process and to help save you money over the long haul. You can book your call today by simply clicking the link below on this page. It will direct you to my calendar. You will choose a day and a time that works best for you. It's quick, simple, completely free, and will provide you with some actionable advice. I encourage you not to wait as appointments do fill up quickly. So again, click the link or visit www.myeducationconnections.com to book and schedule your call. I look forward to hearing from you.